Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2 the 2. Okie dokie. Waiting screen. No. What in the heck? Okay, good. This thing is trying so desperately to show my stream key. I don't know why. I don't know why. Why is it doing this? Why are you doing this to me? There we go. Why did it? It's like it changed every single one of my settings. What the heck, man? Nope, still wrong. Oh my goodness, what is sabotage? Good grief almighty. What sabotage is this? Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious me, wow. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Coding Fanatic YouTube channel. I'm your host Richard, and here at Coding Fanatic I teach new Android developers how to grow quickly. If that sounds like content that you are interested in, join the mailing list over at codingfanatic.com. Welcome to the 10th Coding Fanatic Building Apps Quickly live stream. On this live stream, I show you guys how I build apps relatively quickly. Now, I had a few little minor, I don't know what was going on with OBS, man. It was trying to sabotage me, trying to show my stream key and everything, man. Sabotage. Not tonight, though. We are starting on time, 6 p.m. sharp. So, let's get into it. Now, if you're new to this live stream, if you're new here, let's catch you up real quick on what's been going on. I worked on a new app, Superman Timer, name pending, which is a training app for people who are training independently. You can set the amount of repetitions and custom stopwatches and timers. This way you don't have to keep checking your phone every 2 seconds while you're training. You can focus on your training and the app handles all the timing for you. Now, in order to get the ball rolling, I wanted to first learn how to set up a stopwatch and then how to set up a countdown timer. So the last couple months during the live streams, I've showed you guys my journey as I've learned how to implement these in Kotlin in an Android app. Now, last week I ran into some bugs, but I managed to finish the countdown component of the app, and now I'm going to show you guys what I have thus far. So let's get to it. Just going to do one quick little sound check and we should be good to go. Now if I Okay, looks like we're good to go. Behold! This is now the final version of the countdown component. So following the countdown timer tutorial from the last couple of weeks, we've got a seek bar right here, which displays the amount of time remaining. I set it to 10 seconds by default. Obviously, you can edit this later on. And there's a start button, which when you press it, it starts the countdown. If you hit stop, it resets, and start will keep it going. So once it hits 0, it should play an alarm sound, but right now I'm not sure what's going on with that exactly, but it doesn't matter because we got the app to work. That's all that matters. So we have our countdown, we have our stopwatch, we are ready to go, everyone. The next step of my process will be to show the old mockup. This was the original mockup I made. I did this one in Microsoft Paint, if you can't already tell. So beautiful. I've got the names of the workouts, and this is supposed to be like an edit button. So this is like the little pencil. I don't have an example, but this is the small pencil icon that you usually use to edit things. Here's the name of the workout along with the length of time and the number of repetitions. So if you, let's say for air squats, 5 seconds, 30 reps. So air squats will every 5 seconds, 30 times every 5 seconds. Once you hit play, it should make an alarm, sound an alarm every 5 seconds. So 30 times 5 is 150, so 150 seconds, or 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Math. 150, 2.5 minutes. Not math. 150 seconds. So over the course of 2.5 minutes, every 5 seconds the alarm should beep once you hit this play button. So this is what I want it to look like. And I was going to use a recycler view so that you could scroll down and just add additional workouts as you go on. But this design is a little too advanced right now. So what I want to do today is just focus strictly on setting up the actual timer and the little play button. So seeing as how we already have this element complete, you just hit start and it counts down. And the only thing left is to set up the, oh no, that's right, this is done. I don't need to set up the alarm. Everything here is finished already. Good. All right, so I want to make a mock-up that will represent what I want this final product to look like. Give me 1 second here. All right, so now we're going to create a new mockup, and I would like to use Figma. I've used it once or twice for some smaller projects with different teams, but this will be my first time doing it on my own. So let's see. What crazy? Give me 1 second here. All right, so it looks like my email is not working. So we're just gonna double check and make sure that I actually have an account on Figma. Pretty sure I do, but looks like I do. explore files, plugins, and widgets created by the Figma community. Sure. Enhance your meetings with widgets. Oh boy. There's a lot here. I really just want to make a widget, a thing. I don't care about all this right now. Alright, this app is going to be called Superman Timer. Name pending. Alright, so we want to create a new mockup. So let's just make something really simple and easy. Design and prototype. Now we can there's 3 files. The heck? 3 of 3 used. Oh. Hang on a second here. All right, well, this is gonna take some more setting up and things like that, so we'll leave this alone for the time being. Instead of Figma, we're gonna use Microsoft Paint, the ultimate free design tool. Okay. All right, so what do we want this thing to look like? Let's go back to my original design here. Alright, so something like this would be good, but for now I want it to be really something just so easy and so simple. Like, we can take all the best parts of this. Yeah, something like actually, you know what? Why don't I just redesign it? Alright, we're not gonna do anything super fancy here. Sure, let's take the first one. Air squats. Actually, yeah, I think, what do I even want the first one to do? I guess the first one just has to be a timer. It doesn't have to have a name or any special stuff. It just has to be a timer. Just a countdown is fine. I don't think the seek bar is necessary. So like what we have here, like without the seek bar element, this works just fine, honestly. But the reason why I'm you know what? Let's use it. Let's use it. Let's just use that for the time being. Why not? Yeah. What the heck? We'll use this and we'll put like the name of the I'm overthinking this. Because this kind of works for a first design. Like this sort of works already. You hit start, it counts down, and the alarm goes off. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. This is actually like a really good first design. I don't think I would add anything to this. 5 seconds. I guess the only difference is that here I have the name of the workout as like the main feature, and then the time is here. I guess the seek bar here would be good, and then it just kind of slowly counts down. But if I could have the actual time here represented by the, like to have the seek bar represent the amount of time remaining and just slowly counts down, that'd also be really good. Yeah, like even here, even like jumping jacks, you know? And then rest, oh boy. But then the seek bar is gonna have to update. Yeah, that's a lot. I guess if I were to improve, how would I improve on this design is the real question. Alright, so we got the name, play button. I guess this should be pause. Like I like it to both have play and pause. So let's say it's playing, pressing this should be a pause icon right here. So I think I'm gonna just erase this. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Nope. Let's do a line. There we go. So this is like the pause icon, and then it's slowly going down, and then we have the time remaining. Something like. Oh. There we go. Time left 32 seconds. And then it's like reps remaining. Two. Okay. All right, something like this. And then I guess when it's on break, it doesn't matter if it's on break or if it's on repetition. I guess it does. Time left, rest remaining, rest left. I think if it's on rest, you know what? This is what I'll do. Here's one. Here's one. The name of the workout, the time left, reps remaining. This is one. Let me second here. Let me make sure that. Boom. Marketing, mockups. Nope. Content images, mockups. There isn't. I don't have a place for these. Well. All right. So we'll do this for air school. Like this is what it'll look like for. This is while it's active. Now watch this. No. All right. Air squats. It'll be like time left. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. Now, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna have one for all right. I'm gonna take a quick break, but so far what we have is the screen for when it's active. When it's active, so when the person is already working out, so the time is going down, and then the rest remaining and the time left. And then when it's at rest, then I'm going to do something a little bit different, but I will get to that when I come back. So give me 1 second and I'll be back. And of course, no one could hear what I was saying this entire time. And I did that on purpose. All right, so now we have 3 possible settings. Actually, we can come up with a 4th after this. We can even come up with a 4th. Oh shoot, I didn't think about this, but there should probably be a stop button too. We can add a stop button in V2. We don't need one in V1. So says the king. Yeah, this is fine. We don't need a stop button. V1, we just want to start or stop these timers from going off. That's when it's active, and I guess like the base state will be. Oh nope, I need that. Okay. All right. I think this is pretty good. This is pretty good. So this is when it's active. Active countdown. This will be a resting countdown. This will be pause countdown. This will be, I guess, a static countdown. Okay, there we go. So this is what we have for our mockup at this time. So we'll have the you know, we can even this up a little bit. Hang on, we can make this a little better. Sure, it'll work for now. All right. Okay, so let's say you have a. Well, I should probably move these around too. So static. I don't think I have enough room though. I don't. I can always do this. Static down. Active. Resting pause. Okay. Well, let's redraw it. There we go. Now it makes more. Now it makes more sense. Okay. So what we'll do is we have the workout name, the icon or button right here, and then we'll have a text view here, an icon button here, 2 text views underneath it, and then a seek bar. Okay. This is what it'll look like when it's static. So let's say you were to just start it, like if you're just looking at the screen, like these workouts that you have here, this is how it's going to look. So it'll just have the name of the workout, the button, the time left, reps remaining, whatever. Once you press start and it starts counting down, then you'll have the active countdown where you'll have a pause. I can probably just copy this, right? There we go. Boom. You'll have the option to, you'll have the pause. The icon will change from a play symbol to a pause symbol. Now you can press pause to pause it, but it's going to be counting. It's going to count down. Time left, reps remaining. All right, next, rest. So once you get to the end of the workout, you'll have the actual rest component. once you get to if you once you finish repetition, it'll start the rest component. So the time will start to decrease, and it'll say rest and show the amount of time remaining. You can press pause, and if you press pause, that'll take you to the pause countdown, where it just says pause for 12 seconds and then the rest remaining. Now, the rest part, I'm not adding to this menu. Just I guess you should have it here though. You'd want to know how long the rest will be for. Actually, no, you don't need to know how long the rest. Not yet, not in this version. I'll store it somewhere, but yeah, I'll set like a default value of like 5 seconds or something for the time being. But essentially, you want it to display the workout, the pause, play, if it's paused, resting, or if it's active or stopped, it'll be the same. It'll just say time left with the amount of time, and then the repetitions remaining. Cool. Okay. Well, I finished the mock-up, so now we can get started on actually building this thing. Cool. Okay. I still haven't decided on a name yet. Super timer. Why not? Oh, I already have one. Well, excuse me. In that case. We'll do it in any window. Oh, I have to do Gradle sync. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a lot of setup and configuration. But yeah, this is the process. You come up with an idea and then you draw it out on paper, or in this case, you use paint, I guess. Paint it out on paper, and then you build it. That's software development for you. And this is how I go about building apps. Over time, I've refined my process, and you'll find your own way of doing it too. You know, I think this is a good way to follow it if you're new, but over time you'll find your own flavor and your own way of going about it. But the idea is to plan it and then do it. So for me, I wanted to do something simple. That's why I chose just to have like each screen is just going to be just this. That's it. I just wanted it to be something simple. Eventually, I'll add functionality where I'll have multiple different workouts that you can scroll through. But for the time being, I just want one single workout, just the one. And then once we have this one, you know, once we figure out how to go about this, then we can, you know, go from there. That's pretty much the name of the game, folks. Download Gradle. Yeah, all right. This is going to take a lot of setting up, so I think I'm gonna call it actually. Yeah, and it's almost 7 o'clock too. Yeah, I'll call it here, and I'll get started on this because you guys don't want to, unless you just want to watch me do start up a Gradle build for the next 3 minutes, which I doubt anyone does. So yeah, we're gonna call it from here. So what do we go over this week? We demoed my final version of this countdown timer, and oh, I guess I should tell you guys what was wrong with it, huh? All right. Okay, so for starters, the For starters, the class signature was giving me a hard time. At some point, I don't know how or why I did it, but I managed to kind of like override the class to say there were arguments up here. I don't know when I brought them in, but at some point I imported them in. So I removed those. That was the first step. And then the second thing was the on start tracking touch and on stop tracking touch functions. So these overridden functions, they come with, when you override them, they have a to-do statement in here. And the problem I ran into was the reason why the app kept crashing was these to-do statements will cause your app to crash if you have them in here for some reason. I don't know what it is. It must be like an Android thing. But when you implement this on progress changed method or function within a set on seek bar change listener, you have to delete this to-do statement. That was pretty much it. After that, everything else worked as fine. It just worked 100%. That's really all I needed to do. So yeah, that was it. That was the fix. I did do some refactoring. Another thing that I pulled up was if you look at the layout, you'll see the IDs for for the seek bar, the text view. Here it says timer text view 2. The seek bar I have is volume seek bar, and the button is start stop button 2. Instead of instantiating new object variables for each of those widgets or views, instead I used the binding variable that I created and I just called them from there. So you have binding.start stop button 2, that references this button. Binding.timer text view 2, that references this text view. Binding.volume seek bar, again, this references the seek bar, and I just used that in place of those object variables. By using the binding variable, because I declared it outside, it's still inside of the class, but it's outside of onCreate and outside of all of the other functions, so you can reference it from anywhere. So even down here, I have in the reset, or not reset, let's say start timer. Here in start timer, this gets invoked when you click on the start button, the start stop button. I am able to, because I'm using this binding variable, I can set the volume seek bar I can set it to false or true to enable its countdown movement. I can set the text for the button to say stop once you press start or while it's active. I can also, it just gives you a lot more options. So it makes it easier for you to set things up. So definitely that binding keyword or that binding variable is very important. That's a big one. Might do a tutorial on how to set this up eventually. We'll see. But yeah, that's about it. That's how I set up my bug fixes, and that's how I got the app to work. And it looks like could not install Gradle distribution. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to do some troubleshooting here. So this is as good a place to stop as any. Okay, so with all that being said, what did I learn this last week? The major thing, you want to be consistent. You want to make time, even if it's only a few minutes a day. Saturday morning, I got up and I said if you guys are subscribed to the mailing list, you know I've already said this. But for those of you who are not subscribed, I explained in the recent New You letter, which is my weekly newsletter, about becoming a new version of you. In a recent New You letter, I talked about just being consistent and setting time aside no matter what. And I told myself, I promised 5 minutes a day, every day. Saturday, I spent 3 hours working on this app, troubleshooting it, fixing the bug fixes, and then finalizing the design and everything else. So 5 minutes turned into me actually finishing what I worked on and planning out the next stages for the mockup and everything like that. So I found that being consistent is like the number one thing. Even if you can't do a lot of time, just do a little bit. 5 minutes is not a lot of time. And if you know, especially if you set a routine to do that, like for me, I did it when I got up. So starting my day with it was the most effective way to stick with it. So, 5 minutes a day at the start of your day, it's the best way to go. Something that I ended up failing, or something, that being said, I actually was not consistent this week. even though I was consistent last week. But moving forward, I want to get back into doing this every morning. I think that yeah, I think that's about it for now. Yeah, I don't really have much else, not much profundity to go over anything. Just keep working on it and you'll get through it eventually. And that's how I was able to finish it. And now we can move on to the next stage with these mockups that I made. You know, hey, some people might clown me for using Microsoft Paint or something like that, but it's better than me trying to figure out what's going on with my Figma account and wasting additional time. I can do that later. But for now, I mean, I was able to draw this up in Microsoft Paint. It looks decent, and I know exactly this is how I want it to look. And also, come on, it's like night and day compared to how I first did it in, when did I make? October 8th. Yeah, so 6 months ago, math, this was the original design, and now this is what I'm looking at now. So the recycler view part I'll keep, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But anywho, that's about it for now. All that being said, thank you all again so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Richard. You guys can follow me at social media in the links below in the description. Also, join the mailing list at codingfanatic.com, where I tell you guys about the new you letter, where I give you guys new tips and tricks on ways you can become a new version of you. And of course, come back again next week, Wednesday, April 20th at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time for the Building Apps Quickly live stream. I show you guys how I build apps quickly, relatively quickly, and give you guys some pointers and things that you can pick up on. With all that being said, I'm your host, Richard Clark, signing out, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Nailed it.